What's going on? What's going on? Brutus here, bringing you a successful failure video. For this one, we have the Grundinator theme, just because it's probably the most requested. Tips about it, fighting the time, why it fails, what to look for, all that good stuff. And there were some good examples that we could use here to answer some of those questions. Okay, so Grundinator attack. What we're trying to do, three major things. Don't lose your queen. Keep your army together. You don't want them to splinter. If they do splinter, you got to at least have some wall break, like your Valks should split from your P.E.K.K.A.s if you have to split. And your bowlers should go opposite your queen because those are your reach. But ultimately, you don't want your army to split. That's what you're aiming for. You want to have at least 2 rages for the core. Ideal is 3. Because that rages is what cut down the time. And as you enter the core, you're trying not to lose too many of your 6 healers. You are going to lose some because your healers are in the core, ADs are trapped, so that's where you lose them to. So, I mean, 3 is what you kind of want to end your push with, because then you have enough sustaining power to overpower the rest of the base. The last thing is, skeleton spell is usually key to combat time. So when you fail on this raid, you usually fail with like a high percent. You got like that 90% or something like that double, or it's a clear. The other thing that's good about this on fresh hits is that it really doesn't matter what's in the CC. It would help to know. Everything's better if you can deal with the CC ahead of time, whatever. But ultimately, you don't care what's in there, and I'll talk through why. The other part is if you fail, you not only if you did a hog attack, you would expose all the ground troops, or Valk attack all the ground traps. And a Lalo, you only expose air. So it's usually said ground are better for scouts. This attack does both. You have air troops inside and around key pieces of defensive information. So you get a shit ton of more traps exposed. There's my soapbox. We're going to enter from afar is the best advice on the base. You don't have to take out the queen to begin with. You can take her out halfway at the end or halfway through, whatever. This is not a lure, and we're going to start a walk away from the air defenses. We're going to walk and enter right about here. We're going to break this. One trash ring, basically. You can get a baby dragon or a wizard. Usually can sustain some. There's one wizard down here getting the funnel going on. But one wizard can sustain, like, could hang out right outside of this ring. Troop space-wise, you want a cheap funnel. So far, this is not too bad. You do want so encountering, if you want to almost loses his queen here, has to burn the ability. It's preferred to burn the ability than it is to use a rage. So when you're dealing with the CC, unless you're dealing with the CC on a walk, something like this, it's better to burn the ability than to use the rage because time. The more rages you have for the core, those are time fighters. The other part right here is the P.E.K.K.A. that you need to meet up together because you want your army together. So see how the queen is walking away? She's going to take her sweet time on this walk. And the healers, although stay untouched here, she stops on the wall. And basically what was missing on this is that the P.E.K.K.A. walk needed to start good so that the P.E.K.K.A.s finish over by the queen. And then you drop your Valkyries. And then you both enter together. However, the good thing about here is you wait for your bowlers. If you don't have a double ring, here's the trash ring. Here's the second ring. If that second ring does not go down, your bowlers are going to walk. And you'll see an example of that in the next replay. So far, this is a really good entry. The timing of it wasn't too bad. A couple of shots off on the healer. We're still sitting pretty. Rage goes down. We have 2 left. CC encounter. Right here, this air defense, because the queen is hanging back too far, she's not there to help support taking down the CC kill, which means the baby dragon is wrecking face on everybody until that queen gets there. Meanwhile, this air defense, which the queen would take down after the CC goes down, is still up, and it takes out too many healers. So now after the encounter, we are down to 1 and a wounded healer. So we're still okay with the time with the rage here. Our last spell is a heal. And we lost a lot of our Valkyries because of the timing wasn't quite as good for the entry. However, we used both poisons on the CC. Mind you, that's where a rage was also used. Yeah, I know it's for the flying object, but you don't really need 2 poisons if your queen's on a closed walk right behind that, getting whatever's in the CC. So this, instead of 2 poisons, this is where the max skeleton spell comes into play. Not to mention we have a wasted heal. You don't want to bring a heal to sustain your army getting through, because as your army, your Valkyries and your bowlers are stepping through a rage, the healers are following them and then becoming raged healers, which then basically serves as an unstoppable force. What you bring a heal for. So if this was a rage, there's a chance that this actually works because the rage bowlers would take away all this. And then look in here, there's no splash damage. So if you drop a Larry spell in there, a max one, I guarantee this clears. Instead, what it comes down to is really a heartbreaker. He breaks through and it's a 95%. All you needed was maybe 10 more seconds. Didn't need a jump. Rage would have been nice. So look at the heal as would have been a jump to guarantee them in with the timing. But that max skeleton spell really would have complemented this army. Let's look at one more replay. And then we'll look at success. So I'm on deck. I was so mad. Is what it is. So looking at the principles, I'm trying not to lose my queen, and I want to keep my army together and not lose too many healers when I'm halfway through the base. I have a Larry spell for time saving, and I have 3 rages, and I don't want to use a rage on my walk. So I got a cheap funnel, 2 wizards, nice and everything's great. Remember, for your bowlers, you need 2 layers of funnel. So I'm starting that on the left. There's my second layer of the funnel. And I want to make sure that this high hit point storage goes down because that's also a funnel. And I want to deal with the royals before I deal with the CC. These are all predetermined lines. So I wait until that's about wounded down. Timing of making sure my army stays together. There goes down my P.E.K.K.A.s. Here is the second layer defense. That DE storage. I overlooked that. Completely overlooked that. When you're in how to get this could be an archer tower, this could be a wizard tower, it could be a bow, whatever. How you get this on a P.E.K.K.A. walk is you simply drop your bowlers right at this wall. They will target anything that's 1 tile behind it, not like wizards and archers do. But then this goes down as the second layer of the funnel. Then they naturally attract to that. As long as I have the wall broken open before that goes down, they'll go in. That's not what happens. Look how I poisoned the BK encounter. I still have a rage. I still have an ability. They did not take down this second layer. When it does go down, the next closest thing, even though I have a jump down, that is the next closest thing for them. So my bowlers split on me, and all this is not according to plan. My healers stay nice and pretty where everybody should be. For the most part, my army is together. Ideally, I'd want my bowlers to be in this rage, and they would take care of basically everything around here. Instead, my P.E.K.K.A. gets hung out to dry. My queen walk is still okay, and I'm salvaging the attack. I know that time's not on my side. I need to round this corner. On a quick reaction, I guess, there is my demise. This was not where to use the Larry spell. Why? Because once this hound goes down, that's the next thing that the queen's going to target. But for some reason, I'm freaking out, thinking maybe I got healers with these bowlers, which I don't. So they're really that air defense wasn't really a threat. And I probably should have held my rage down here to this spot. I do finally use it. There it is. But if you see this Tesla, that's where I needed to use it. Or actually the mortar. Drop it on the mortar. But yeah, it's real heartache. I have to use the ability to keep my queen up. And then my 2 archers for cleanup for huts will take down that storage. This actually looked like a 3, but a skeleton pop slowed me down. And an unfortunate AI also went against me. You'll see that in just a second. So with this mortar, this is how long you should be holding your Larry spell to if things get this bad. The mortar was aggroed onto the queen. That's when I would have made a quick reaction, or even as she gets up right here. See how he targeted. Drop the Larry spell on the Tesla. When they're done, they move up into the blind spot. And then it's a 3. Instead, the queen starts to walk up towards the Tesla, and then sees that they weaken the wall. She walks back down, and that's basically 0.2 seconds away, and I miss it. So hopefully those talking points were helpful for you when you're trying to master the Grundinator attack, what to look for, why these approaches were done that way. We'll end this with a positive one, an actual one that cleared that was pretty sweet, and it didn't go exactly to plan, but it was still pretty to see. We'll go to ×2. Start the walk down here on the right. Baby Dragon to help start that funnel and then also help kill the queen so that he can keep a rage free and the ability in hand. Nice funnel formed on this. It's a long walk. He sacrifices one zap of that wizard, which was worth the trade because he definitely wanted her to go around. And once she takes out the altar, she will. Back to 1. Got a nice funnel going on with the wizard, nice and cheap. Wizard steps up into the blind spot, but for the most part, loses 1 P.E.K.K.A, and it's because of this mortar right here. 1 bowler splits, 2 bowler splits on him for some reason, and that's because this wall is not broken down yet. This is why I bring that jump, so that the army keeps moving to where I need to. He has a nice heal spot here, but look, his healers are following this army. This is why I don't really ever bring a heal for this. I know there's arguments that people say why they bring it, and to each their own. As long as you're bringing 3 rages for the core. Army splits nicely on him, and by the time that they take out what was hitting them, they've already broken through the other wall, and it's over. It was so fast that he actually still has a rage spell to boot. Anyway, hopefully that was helpful for you. Once again, it's Brutus reminding you, you got to be better than a double, and I'll check you next time.